my favorites is the first 6 movies that Corman did that
I
showed
knew
me.
it. I was just thinking about it. Like, who's gonna have like the fucking top 6 Corman titty flicks? That'll be next week.
Yeah.
All right. So, welcome to a podcast from beneath. Tonight we'll be discussing our top 6 horror movies. All right. And before we get started, we got a package in the mail, and it came from the Poe and Grimm podcast.
Oh,
So I just
nice.
want to.
That's pretty neat.
So I'm gonna do an opening, an unboxing, if you will.
And audio unboxing. If it turns out to
Yes.
be a shit, I'm gonna lose my shit.
And so there's a
Oh,
bag, a Ziploc bag.
ooh, it's like I'm right there.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
And then,
Riveting.
yeah, inside they were 4 pins like you would put on a jacket. They're all like looks like an octopus, maybe the Kraken. But Aaron Poe from that podcast said he saw them and it reminded him of our logo we used to have. So he
Oh yeah.
sent those along to us. So I'll divide those up between us.
Nice. So thank you, thank you.
That's
And
pretty
then
neat. Yeah, I
and
appreciate
then
it.
there was
Awesome.
2 stickers in here. I think they're from one of their sponsors, Mad Hatters. I've heard them mention them on their podcast before.
Hmm.
So yeah, really cool of them guys to send us that stuff there.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
And I would also like to give a shout out to our listeners in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Finland.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
so
how's it going,
we're
guys? Happy Leif Erikson Day.
so I guess we're officially worldwide now. So
Well, not anymore. After I said that, I might have, they might have
yeah, we
buggered
just
out.
lost them. Well, we were up until this episode. So
So you think you're funny? Click.
yeah, yeah, and then
That
just
was that
just
was
a,
me talking to myself, by the way.
yeah, and of course just another shout out to all of our Twitter followers, everybody on the Facebook group, yeah, everybody that follows us on Instagram. So
Oh yeah, I
tonight we're
got.
gonna do tonight we're gonna do episode titled Top 666. 3 of us, 6 movies apiece.
Yes.
We are so clever.
Yeah, I know. So, so who wants to start with their number 6?
Well, it is your show. You should start us from the get-go. Let's go.
All right, so my number 6 for my top horror is the Blair Witch Project.
That's a movie I thought about putting on my list, but I realized I didn't like it.
Realize you didn't like it.
I liked it. I mean, I haven't seen it I saw it like back when it came on VHS. I thought it was pretty scary. I don't know how I would react to it now.
It's yeah, it's a movie that for me it didn't hold up. When it first came out, I was just totally in it. Like I totally bought it, and I was very creeped out about the entire thing. But watching it years later after the fact, it kind of, you know, it's kind of a victim of its own pop culture movement.
I remember getting into the hype of it. The was it real? Did it really happen? The fake documentary they had on the
Mm.
Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
I remember being in all that, and then of course I saw it in the theater, and it with what I liked about it is without showing anything. There was no, you never saw a witch, you never saw anything. Just but the suspense, and you just felt uncomfortable the entire movie. And
Yeah.
it was scary and creepy.
I
Especially
abs-
I've been in the woods before, right after dark. And that's what I mean. That's what it felt like.
You know what really also, like, the marketing for that whole movie was fantastic.
Yeah, that was like at the cusp of the internet where they could get away with it too.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
Fake
people's like, oh,
website.
oh crap, this has got to be true. The internet says so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to put it on. I wanted to put it on the list just because it was one of those a movie that affected me. Like we're not, just watching it in the theater.
It'd be funny if you said Blair Witch Project 2.
Yeah,
Oh, what was it like Book of Secrets? No, that's
Yeah.
National Treasure. I don't know.
yeah.
Book of Witches or something like that.
Oh yeah, Book of I don't know.
Book of
Bridges of
Terrible.
Madison County. I don't know.
Yeah. Alright. Eric, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Number 6. I put The Descent.
Nice.
This is a movie that I kind of fell in love with. It's so claustrophobic and weird. This entire movie looked like it was lit by like a Zippo lighter. It's so close quarters, and you just feel creepy and disgusting. And then once you find out what these poor people who got stuck in the particular cave run into, it just gets even worse. And there's just nowhere to run, really.
Yeah, it was definitely. It was when I seen the trailer for it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but when I seen it, it was definitely a
Yeah.
surprise.
Now,
Oh,
speaking
yeah.
speaking of surprise, that number 6 slot, that or Dawn of the Dead. Now, the reason why I chose that over Dawn of the Dead, even though I absolutely love John Romero's Dawn of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead for me is not scary. But The Descent just made me feel creepy. Just even afterward, just bleh, just disgusting and just trapped. It was just really odd and just made me uneasy.
You definitely felt the isolation
Yeah.
of the. Yeah, obviously it's takes place in a underwater. Was it underwater or just
It was in a cave.
a cave? But it had
Yeah.
it had water, like I guess pools of water in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, they had that, like, pool of blood. That
Yeah,
girl
a bunch
falls in.
bunch of dookie in there too, probably.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. And the monsters in the Descent just look amazing because they remind you, yeah, because the Falmer and Skyrim. I heard they're based off that, like the creatures from the Descent were influences on the Falmer.
That's pretty cool.
Now, what-
I totally dig how this movie takes its time to reveal that stuff too.
Yeah,
It's very slow and just I keep wanting to say claustrophobic, but a very close quarters movie.
Now, if I remember correctly, this one had like a twist ending, but maybe that was a delete, or maybe that was an alternate ending.
Maybe
That was a
the
twist ending?
The ending that I remember, spoilers. Wait for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The final girl, she escapes. She gets out. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, there's a sigh of relief at the end, if I do remember correctly.
So I was thinking
Before
there
the
was a.
sequel ruined everything.
Yeah, I was thinking there was maybe an alternate ending where she comes out of the cave, but the whole thing was a dream, or she actually died in a car wreck at the beginning. Am I
Yeah.
remembering that correctly?
I think when she didn't escape, she got killed or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that. I've seen both of them.
Hmm.
So part two not as good, right? Because I don't
I've
know if
never
I've seen part two.
Yeah, part 2's lit too well.
Okay.
All right, I guess I'll
It's up to
go.
Bill. Let's go.
All right,
You're
Amaze.
number 6.
Some people may say this isn't a horror movie, or like, I wouldn't think this is a horror movie, but I think the original Terminator.
Okay, that's a good one. That's totally like in the vein of like a slasher film, you know?
Yeah.
Has that same
That's exactly what I
atmosphere.
was saying
Yeah.
before we came on there.
That's
He's
an
based.
interesting.
I mean, he's
that.
like a. You could think of the T-800 as a futuristic Michael Myers, and he's tracking down Laurie Strode.
Yeah, like
Sure.
it's. I didn't think of this until like a couple years before I was thinking myself, or I heard it. Somebody else was like, "Yeah, this is. I consider this a horror movie." I was like, "Holy shit, he's right!" And I was like, "That's." I mean, I never thought of it until a couple years ago. I was like, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
like you can consider it a horror movie. Some people are like, no, man, sci-fi. Well, it's like sci-fi horror or whatever you want to say it.
And
Well,
again,
yeah,
another thing I said before we came on was Alien is a lot of people consider Alien a horror movie.
Yeah, and some people
And
don't
it's
even
basically the
consider
same.
Aliens like a horror movie, but it is. It's
Hmm.
action horror. It's not straight up horror.
Aliens. I think it's more action than it is horror. But it's like okay, we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But I think
Yeah.
it's the perfect progression when it gets to that.
Yeah. I just like the whole look of the movie. Just I just like the Arnold, how it like how it was made for like $2 million, I think, and he really put all on that $2 million.
Oh yeah. I mean that scene where he cuts out his eyeball and cleans up everything after he
Yeah,
got it screwed up. Like people
yeah,
make fun of that scene, like they look like it looks like trash, but come on, there's no way that is not impressive.
yeah. Look at him now. Look at the impressive stuff he does now. This is when he didn't have that much money. He did like the best that he could with what he had,
Yeah.
and it made it work really well.
Yeah,
You gotta
there was a couple of scenes that they didn't have permits to film, so they kind of done them guerrilla style.
Oh yeah, that's a
Just
little
film.
famous story of how they got that final shot of Sarah Connor driving off into the distance, or
Yeah,
excuse me,
just
driving off into the matte painting.
yeah,
And
just film and then run away.
yeah, yeah, some cop actually stopped them, I do believe, and James Cameron, since he was on such low budget, it was really just him and a few other people, including Linda, what's her name, Hamilton.
Yeah,
And the cops are like, "Hey, pal, you guys got a permit?" It's like, "Oh, no, no, this is my son's film project. I'm not just out here just like helping him out." And he's like, "Oh, okay, just make it quick." And they shot it and they left. That's how they got it.
man, that's Terminator. Now sequel, totally not. That's straight up like action, sci-fi action. No horror elements to it at all. I don't think either.
No,
No, we can't talk about that one. That's
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
podcast from the future.
This should be a podcast from the future. Well, yeah, all right. Carrie,
that'll be
you
our
want to
that'll be our new bi-weekly podcast.
podcast from the future.
Yeah, so number 5, I guess I'll go ahead and move on. Number 5, I think this is I'm hoping no one else picked it, and I'm sure no one else did.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be your Blair Witch one.
No,
Like,
no.
no one's gonna pick that.
Here it is, everybody. It's Teen Wolf. All right, let's go.
Yeah, my number 5 is The Changeling from 1980.
You're right. I didn't.
I have
pick
not
that.
seen. I don't think I've ever seen
George C. Scott starred in this movie.
Really?
The- yeah.
Good old Patton himself, huh?
That's right. So I guess if neither one of you have seen this, it's basically about he plays he's a composer, and the beginning of the movie, he witnesses his wife and daughter get killed when a truck hits the car, and one of his friends recommends him go stay in this old mansion to get away for a while. There's a piano in there, so he can continue to work, and of course the mansion's haunted. And the reason why this is even on my list at all, and not even at the bottom, was the first time it came out in 1980, but the first time I seen it, I was probably 19, and this movie at 19 creeped the hell out of me.
Hmm.
If you've never seen it, I recommend everybody watch it. It doesn't have gore or anything like that. It's the atmosphere and the sound that they do in this movie that I guarantee if you watched it right now with the lights off, it would scare the shit out of you.
Dang. That's probably the best review you've given a movie this entire podcast history.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's how this movie affected me that bad. There was a one scene where he's in the kitchen and he's like doing the dishes and he turns the water off and he still hears water running. And he kind of just like, oh, I guess there's a leak or whatever. He goes upstairs to like a bathtub where there's water running. And you see just like in the water, you see like a kid's face. And I'm telling you this, like it's really creepy.
Is that the movie? The poster has the rocking chair.
It's like a wheelchair. And
Yeah, or
then,
something,
and it's
yeah.
empty, but then the shadow, there's like a kid sitting in the wheelchair. Yeah,
Didn't they remake that with Angelina Jolie?
I don't think that was. I think I just it shared the same title. I don't believe it
Oh,
was the same movie.
oh okay.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, it came out in 1980. I'd never seen it until I was, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was like 19, and it literally scared me. Um, and like I said, it's got that classic horror feel to it. Just
Like,
with it's all done with atmosphere. The set, obviously the house, the house was a really good set. There's even a really good seance scene that's really creepy, and it doesn't even show much, but it puts you in that mood, and that's why it's on my list at number 5.
ooh, sounds fantastic, actually.
Yeah, check it out.
So we're on my number 5,
Yes.
which achieved a little bit just because I consider this like one giant story arc. But Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's technically one movie just split
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Halloween 2 being the only movie in the franchise that didn't take place on Halloween itself, but the day after. But these movies excel in one area, and that's just that sense of just being followed, being watched, um, always having just around the corner maybe someone just like looking at you, following you, trying to like study you per se, planning their, you know, area and field of attack or something like that. The first Halloween, it's a classic, John Carpenter doing his thing as always. But I feel like the second one is a little, what's the word I'm trying to
Underrated?
think of?
Forced.
It's a little. First of all, how dare you? No, it's
Like it's
underrated for
underrated.
sure. Yeah, because it's like an actual conclusion to the Michael Myers character.
Yeah, I do like it.
It's
I
a
do
li-
like that one
it's a
too.
little contrived, and it's not as good as the first one. There aren't a lot of sequels that do that, but I feel like as one giant picture, these two movies together have a lot to say, and they're very entertaining.
Well, I'll go ahead and say that the first one is also on my list, but part 2 is not on my list. I didn't really care for part 2.
How dare you?
No, 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 no.
No, I'm joking.
I
What
just
turned you off about it? I'm curious.
I think the first one ended. I think that ended it. I don't think you needed at that point. And of course, this came later in life, but at that point, it was just a cash grab. And if, like I said, it felt forced.
Well, I
Hey,
mean, you could certainly say that about the rest of the sequels as well. But
we need to make another one. So come up for a reason why he's not laying out in the yard anymore, and and then a reason why he's doing, then of course they make him where he's related to her and all that. I don't know. I just didn't care for the second one.
dang,
That's why you
that's a
need to see
scathing
the other
review.
one.
Oh, the 2018 one.
Yeah,
Well, it's coming out on
January.
streaming next month, so I'll be able to get it then.
Yeah, I should say that I haven't seen it either, so I don't know.
I think
It could
you
t-
guys will like it. I really do.
It could
It was,
totally turn me around.
And actually, I'll make you and anybody else listening mad when I say that 1 and 3 are my favorite Halloween movies.
That's not gonna make anybody mad. Season of the Witch has such a cult following, like, you can
our
trade that
followers
around
are going
anywhere.
down. Nah.
We'll
Oh,
we'll
yeah, I
talk
know
about that
people-
on that. We'll talk about that on another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the only reason why I included Halloween 2 is just because Halloween 1 ends so ambiguously. They do that whole little, not twist ending, but the disappearance of Michael Myers after he gets thrown off the house, or he falls off the balcony getting shot. I
Yeah.
feel like that that particular end of the character when he gets burned into the second one, after like I don't know, like another night of horror, it just feels like a nice, just breather,
No.
just like, all right, you know.
Yeah,
do
and
like-
it's definitely I would consider it like one movie. Obviously, you couldn't have. I don't know. I guess you could put it together and watch it all in one go because I don't know how long each of them are.
I want to say like 90 minutes a piece, give or take. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So yeah, they should like edit both of them together and do like a theatrical
I'd be down for that. That'd be
Yeah,
so
like
cool.
I mean, what JFK was what 4 hours long, so
Oh my god, that Kevin Costner jack-off fest. I hate them.
Kevin Costner's always got to make his goddamn movies like 4 hours long. Each
Oh yeah, like The
movie.
Postman,
Oh my
Waterworld,
god, I hate that's
Dances
hell
with
for me,
Wolves.
man. That's hell for me. It's like you gotta watch all these Kevin Costner movies in a row, and it's like forever.
Yeah, then you realize you can only fit in like 3 movies in a 24-hour period.
Yeah, awful. God, I hate Kevin Costner movies.
And that was my
Alright.
number 5 pick.
That was my number five. My number five is 28 Days Later.
Oh man.
I thought about that
I
one, but I
yeah, I was
couldn't
struggling
do
with
it.
that one too.
And
So why do you dig it?
why I dig it?
Yeah.
A lot has to do with the atmosphere. Like it kind of shows like just the beginning shows just one man. He thinks like he's the only person on earth. Like he just keeps on walking and walking. And it just felt eerie, the whole atmosphere of him just trying to look for everybody, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
graffiti on the walls. Like the end is fucking nigh, and then when he goes to that church, like just the first like maybe like 30 minutes of it, just oh man, I just and the music to it too.
Yeah, I was
I'll
gonna say
probably
that my
also-
favorite part of that opening scene is that song that plays,
Yeah.
and the song
droning
keeps
thing.
ramping up
Yeah.
faster until he, what I'm saying, he's just like, in the streets screaming while that song just keeps in. It's just really good.
One of the
Yeah.
creepiest scenes for me, I think, is when they're in that tunnel and their tire. They gotta change a tire.
Oh, that's like, hey,
Rats
hurry
are
up,
running.
because they're all coming. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like you hear them. Oh man, and like the song, like the score for the ending, like at the last like 20 minutes, when the infected gets into that safe zone with those people, like just the
Oh, yeah.
music, like it's
Got the nice little safe zone with the Ninth Doctor hanging out.
yeah,
Good
and like
time.
the music that's playing when shit's going to hell.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
liked
that-
how they filmed it too, because like,
It was all handheld digital, if I do.
and they had they used a strobe light that was set to the same
Shutter speed.
shutter speed, and then they kind of matched it with their rain machine,
Yeah.
which gave it that weird look when he's outside.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of showed that he was not infected, but still just as crazy.
It's people's asked Danny Boyle. They ask him, they're like, he tells me, he's like, these aren't zombies. Don't count it as a zombie flick.
Yeah, they're not
Like,
zombies.
they don't eat people. That's what he's saying. Like, and a lot of people are like, oh no, they're zombies.
They're not even dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're just mad.
yeah,
28
Yeah.
Days Later is just a film about haters, that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not zombies though. Definitely a good movie, just not a. I never lump it together with zombie movies.
when it first came out, when I first saw it creeped me the hell out.
Well, even though they're not zombies, it kind of brought in the notion that those type of characters are more mobile than ever.
Yeah,
These guys run at full speed. These are like they turn into like marathon people.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I guess the scarier part is that this is something that could happen.
yeah. You're not dead, just enrages you, like
No, I'm talking about like an outbreak, like
Oh.
a
of anything.
I mean, obviously zombies. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
never going to happen. But any kind of man-made viral outbreak that turns everybody crazy could actually happen.
Yeah,
It's very true.
yeah. It's like it was more realistic too, in a way. That's what because man, science is scary.
Man, nature is scary.
Man, you scary, nature.
Yeah, damn, nature is scary.
So
But,
what did you
sorry.
think of 28 weeks later?
I thought it was pretty good, but it definitely had a different atmosphere. Like the first one was like, it just felt uneasy and stuff the whole time. This one was like more of a, I don't know,
I feel like the first one was very lonesome, very empty, and I appreciated
Yeah,
that. It had a lot of impressive shots of just London, even though they were all like digitally enhanced and stuff like that. But they got very little time to shoot in these streets while they were empty. And seeing these huge metropolitan areas completely void of life is super impressive and just very spooky.
Oh yeah, and I think the second one it has the same problem that all sequels have, which is the first movie done so well, this one has to be bigger and faster.
Yeah, then you have a helicopter mowing down zombies. I mean,
Yeah,
infected.
and then it takes away from that original idea of that the first movie had.
yeah. So yeah, it's mine. 28 days later.
That was on my for this list. I jotted down like easily 15 movies, and 28 days later is I'm looking at it right now. I didn't pick it, but it's right here.
I'm not gonna lie, I've always feared doing a top 10. Top 6 was hard.
Yeah,
I,
This was
I had to do
hard.
I had to do some tough cuts.
Yeah.
I did too. Especially with, like number 6. I had that, and I had the Burning, between the Burning or the Terminator.
Oh man, good thing you picked the Terminator,
Yeah.
because I have some issues with the burning. Some straight up issues.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to number 4. My number 4 spot is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original with Robert
Oh, I was
Englund,
gonna say
not the remake.
2014 one. Yep,
No.
classic. Okay.
Yeah.
Classic, yeah, dude.
Starring Rorschach or whatever his name is.
You know, that was a creepy movie seeing that for the first time as a kid.
That
That's
movie.
Yeah, top 3 like movies that scared me. Like, I mean, movies scared me when I was younger, but this one was on top 3 that like I had to sleep with the fucking lights on.
I think seen as a
And
kid,
absolutely, yeah.
the creepiest scene seen as a kid was Tina's body in the school, like in the body bag,
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that was
really?
weird.
and then a goat for no reason. Like to me, that was the creepiest part of
It's
the
called
entire movie.
art.
You know what?
Yeah, but
You know what I thought was the creepiest is when Freddy gets first introduced. He's like, "This is God," and he chases her.
yeah, and then like he has like the stretchy arms.
Yeah, like I thought,
It's
oh man,
yeah,
Man,
this
Wes
right here.
Craven hit the jackpot with that idea, though.
Yeah, he
yeah,
did. And of course, this is the best Freddy because after, well, I don't know, 2, I guess he was still kind of serious, but once he started getting funny
third
and
one he's not really serious, is he?
and camp, yeah, 3 was the Dream Warriors. So he's like
Well, with a title
turning,
like that, so
so he's like turning into the female nurse and spitting his tongue out and tying people. Yeah, it's just it got campy,
I do like the third one.
but but I just think that and we've had this talk before where he's supposed to be creepy and
Yeah,
scary because once you start making him a likable character, people are rooting for a child molester.
yeah.
oh yeah, that's kind of rough. No,
Yeah, so that's why I think the first one, it's the best one. It's the best Freddy. He never should have been made funny.
You know what? I read or I saw where Wes Craven got the idea from like I think it was a man in India, or no, it was like a teenager or something in India. He like was fighting his parents because he didn't want to sleep. He's like, if I fall asleep, I'm going to die. And they ended up giving him sleeping pills or something like that, and he never
And
woke
then he
up. Like,
died. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that was based on. Yeah, apparently it was based on a true story that he read in a paper.
I think it was like in India, wasn't it, or something? Maybe it's like in
I
a
think
foreign
so.
country. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, Wes Craven owes that dead kid some royalties. Damn.
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, again, like
And the music's
it's a really
scary.
good. Yeah, really good music. Just and of course Johnny Depp. That's the main reason that
Yeah,
this is number 4.
yeah, he gets turned into some hamburger later on.
Yeah, but it has some problems, but this is probably, I mean, I'm gonna say
Um,
a lot of it's nostalgia, but I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of like the original Freddy Krueger.
You know, I
yeah.
wonder if they'll ever make a horror movie where, like, before he was Freddy, he was the Springwood Slasher. If they would, like, ever make that.
You don't need that though. Like the less you know, the better. Because I feel like with a lot of the famous slasher flicks, the more that they explained, the less interesting it was. they would just keep writing themselves into a corner with all these explanations, and it was just
Right.
not as intriguing. It
Yeah.
got stupid. Like Michael Myers turned into the Thorn, and Jason just turned into like a fucking, I don't know. He just
Killing
regenerated
machine.
every fucking movie. Yeah, he just, oh, he can do it, and that's it.
Well, apparently they killed. See, what was it? He died. Tommy Jarvis killed him. Then he got brought back to life by older Tommy Jarvis. And yeah, then he became an unstoppable, dead killing machine.
And then he went to space.
Then he went to space.
I have a little soft spot for that movie. But speaking of Jason, back to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Since we're getting on the higher up on the lists, I just want to talk about tone and just visual, like the entire cinematography. Because when you're in the dream world, everything is dark, gloomy, gritty. But when you're in the real world, everything is shot very lightly, almost like television lighting, very, very straight, very. The colors pop and everything. So you have this like visual juxtaposition between where you are.
Right, and I guess it kind of, like when when she has the dream in the school, you don't really know it's a dream yet because where she's
Yeah.
still in the school, but then once you see the body in the body bag and it's being drugged, and you still
All the way
you
down
really,
to the
yeah,
basement.
and you really don't know it's a dream yet because it doesn't have that. It has still had that same look.
Whose turn is it now? Oh, Eric, it's your turn. My
Oh
friend.
yeah, that's why I thought we were still going about the nightmare. So number 4 would
Yeah,
be
you're number 4.
well, I know. I'm just saying. Number 4 on my list is Poltergeist, 1982.
Very good, very good choice.
This movie, this is when I'm starting like to find movies that legitimately scared me. Usually as a younger guy. The scene where like that guy like peels his face off in the sink.
Oh yeah.
It's stuck with me, and I'm 27 years old. Like I still think about it from time to time.
So
It is insane.
you don't eat cold KFC out of the fridge anymore.
Oh no, go straight in the trash.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Almost felt too gory for that movie.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I
Yeah,
think
the rest
that's
of the
why it
movie
had such a
was
shock value.
yeah.
Toby Hooper's like, something's got to be gory. Let me have one scene.
just like Corman and his titties. Get that door
Yeah,
out, boys.
yeah. I just need something bloody.
I just need something.
Yeah. A side note: Eric brought up Roger Corman this time, not Billy.
Oh yeah.
That's
Stole it
horseshit.
from
They
me.
did like a
You
fucking 10
stole
minutes
it.
ago.
I'll never get this back. You stole Corman from me.
Either
But,
you stole it or you stole it.
Yeah, Poltergeist. Isn't there a rumor there's like, yeah, Steven Spielberg actually directed this movie, not Toby Hooper. You ever heard that rumor?
Well, I know he did the screenplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, he probably
Like,
had
he
his,
did,
he
like, the
probably had a
storyline.
hand in it.
Oh, of course. Because I think wasn't he supposed to originally direct it, but something happened. He already had
I
like
mean-
responsibilities or something else.
The more I think about it, because I've never really thought about it that way, it definitely has like a lot of Spielberg hallmarks. Definitely like the look and feel. It definitely looks like a Spielberg film of the time, kind of like Close Encounters. They
Yeah.
kind of have the same little, I guess, cinematography, especially towards the beginning when they like introduces the family. They're just like some hunky dory family in some suburb or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a Hooper film.
No.
Well, hell, who knows? He might have gotten lazy on the set, like, Spielberg's got it. Just takes a good drag off a cigar.
Yeah, I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
Just my
Steve,
name's attached.
chop chop.
It's funny.
So, what did you think of like the remake? Well, let's start with the sequels. Like, what'd you think of the sequels?
Me personally, haven't seen him, so
Yeah, I haven't
Never
either.
seen the sequels. What about the
Yeah.
remake?
I don't want to touch it.
Okay then.
What sequel?
There you go. Are you talking about
I think I may have-
Poltergeist? Yeah, that sequel.
Yeah.
But Yeah, Poltergeist, man. It has Coach Greg T. Nelson.
Oh, really? Mr.
Yeah.
McCackle.
I can't remember who the one played something else. Played the mother. Y'all remember her name?
Joe Beth Williams.
Yeah, Diane.
Dang. Yeah. You know the son that plays son. He comes to a few of Shaka Khan's.
Yeah, I've met him.
That's cool.
1 year. I think it was not the year before last.
Yeah, he wasn't here this year, was he?
Nah.
I don't think he was. No. I think he was there 2 years before, wasn't
I think he's only been there the 1 year.
he? Oh.
Hmm.
I thought he was like always there or something. But even the music kind of like Poltergeist kind of reminds me of Steven Spielberg.
It just has that. I don't know what else to call it. It's a feeling more than it is like an actual tangible description. But it has that
Yeah.
Spielberg schmaltz. There's that.
Yeah.
It's that. It's not family friendly, but it has that little bit of magic that like he that he that he perfected during the 80s. It's really weird. I don't know how else to describe it. It is what it is. It is its own description. That's what I'm so hung up on.
What if he just like dressed up as Toby Hooper when he directed this movie? So they saw him on set and they thought it was actually Toby Hooper.
Oh yeah, he's just on stage with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
No, my name's Steven now. It's just what I do. It's how I get into the director thing.
No, dude.
I mean, Steven Spielberg wrote the movie, so I would say that's where a lot of the similarities to
Did he do anything else? Hang on.
E.T. and
Oh, he
Close
also produced it,
Encounters.
so he probably did have a finger in it for sure.
yeah.
All right.
Bill's number 4.
It is any Corman movie. No, I'm joking. It's Alien.
Humanoids from. Oh.
Alien, is that what you said?
Yeah, Alien.
Yeah, see, that was
That was
on my list at one time too.
Yeah, that was going to be my number 4 actually.
I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said about this movie? It's
All right, next we get.
All right, moving on to number 3.
I'm just saying, like just the close quarters, and just like the dread of like oh, this shit is loose in our ship, and our ship is big, and like anywhere, it could be anywhere, and attack them from any place. It's dread throughout the whole movie.
You know, the claustrophobic and the isolation, that seems to be like a running theme because we had it in The Descent, Alien,
Yeah.
last week with The Thing.
Mhm.
See, but there's like those make for the better films, like better horror movies when it's close.
Well,
I
it's
mean, for
such
the
an
most part.
it's such an easy thing to explore because that's one of our primal fears is being alone. But what sets these movies apart from the others is just basic personification. Alien does a great job introducing every character. Like they're a team. You know all their names. You know all their personalities. Everybody gets along. So once they start dying off, you feel something for them. It's scary. Like you don't want that to happen to the next guy or your favorite
No.
character or anything like that.
And then you find out that it was can't think of his name, the robot guy, Ash.
Yeah.
He is just freaks out like a robot malfunctioning and just going nuts.
Yeah, we won't say why, but that might be a topic for discussion for later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the look
look
of
of
this
the alien.
film,
Yeah.
the look of the film altogether, the way the ship was lit. I mean, you have the eating quarters, which was all white and brightly lit and kind of clean looking because that's where they're eating. But then the rest of the ship was just
Dark and dreary.
dark, dreary. You imagine everything has like an oily feel to it. Everything's wet.
Yeah.
I get
Looks
that.
damp.
But we do have to. I don't know how in depth we want to get into that, but I just want to say, Aliens 70s version of the future is fucking timeless. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah. Just the alien, the look of the alien, and the way he and the way he killed the people. Like he took what's his name up when he was looking for him, when the water's dripping on him. He just grabbed him and just took him up. He got that long ass tail.
Oh yeah, with the he's looking for the cat.
Yeah.
Man, I want to just add so much to this, but just in case we have like Alien as a topic later on, I don't know how far I can go.
So I already said what I was gonna say. But yeah, just perfect, man.
It's since yeah, like I said earlier, since we're getting up into our higher list, I want to introduce the phrase "lightning in a bottle," where
Yeah,
everything just works. Like
everything
Yeah.
works. That yeah,
nearly excuse me, there's nearly nothing in these movies that's imperfect.
definitely a good film there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also going to be my number four, but I swapped it out for Poltergeist just because it's more it's stuck with me the longest. Where
Yeah.
I can rewatch Alien as an entertaining movie, but Poltergeist just makes me feel icky.
Your
All right,
number three, Gary?
number three. So my number three is Halloween,
Alright.
directed by Rob Zombie. I mean, no, I'm just joking.
Get
No, it
the
was
Oh
fuck
my
out of here.
no,
god.
no the
We
original.
riot. We riot in the streets.
No, the original Halloween. I've got that as my number three. I think as far as all this, I don't know if I consider this a slasher film, but I was going to say as far as like Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers is my favorite, I guess, killer, we'll call it.
Yeah. We'll call
And
him
as
a horror icon. There we go.
yeah, as far the shape, but as far as like
The shape.
horror movies go, this is definitely perfect. And I don't think he needed the second one to complete it at all.
What else do you like about this movie?
I love how simple it is.
Yes, yeah,
That's where the genius comes from. Like movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, they just come from simple ideas.
yeah. You didn't need. I mean, you didn't need to know the why, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, if
You
you
hear
take like
that sequels?
yeah, if you I mean, if you
Thoughts?
imagine like if you take like Jason Voorhees, who wasn't even in the first Friday 13th movie.
Well,
Oh yeah. I've
But then
never
they
seen spoiler.
yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, he
But
wasn't in the yeah.
but see yeah, so the rest of those movies are just a why does Jason Voorhees kill? And it doesn't matter. So like in the first Halloween, it does. You're not worried about it. You don't care why. You just know that
He's
he
just
is.
entertaining, killing
Yeah.
people.
You just know that he's something's
Yeah.
wrong with him. He's crazy. He
Well,
escaped.
it's not even that there's anything wrong with him per se. It's just I enjoy how absolute his character is. He is the embodiment of evil. No
Correct.
ifs, ands, or buts. No explanation. He
No
does what he does because
thorns.
he is bad.
Yeah. There's no reasoning with them.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm not a huge fan of the second one because I felt like they were, hey, let's make some more money off of this.
They gave him a reason. It's his
But we
sister.
need, we need like a reason to carry it on. And then you end up with, 20 other movies.
It's 25.
Yeah, so Halloween is my number three.
All right. Rick.
Well, this one's going to be really short, but also fairly shocking, I guess, judging by my reaction to, I guess, last week's topic. My number three is The Thing, 1982.
All right.
Very good,
And
very good film.
I put this here because this is where I got into some serious thought about what should be number one. Not only because of creepiness, spookiness, but after this, well, including this, it's also longevity and just workmanship, per se. So, if you haven't seen our cast about the thing that we did last week, please listen to our episode, I think 10 it was,
Yeah, number 10.
saving the X for the best.
But yeah, like when you say longevity, you mean like the ability to like just watch that movie over and over again, right? It never
Yeah,
gets old.
absolutely. That was always my rule of thumb for the greatest movies. Movies that you cannot put down, movies that you would finish watching no matter where you were, movies that always held your attention and could always give you the same feeling no matter how many times you watched it. Like, we all have movies that we've carried in our hearts since childhood. I have movies like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and stuff like that. Stuff that I'll always come back to. And these are movies that fall into that criteria at that point.
Yeah.
So they're not just horror movies, they're also timeless movies.
Correct. They're not humanoids from the deep.
No, that's a perfect movie, so that's why I included it. So.
Okay.
That's just not fair.
To be that perfect. Was it my turn now?
Yes, what's number 3?
Mine would probably be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Toby Hooper again.
Yeah. And I really consider this to be, I guess, the first slasher. I know some people say Halloween, but I consider this to be just when you think of grindhouse movies and the way they should look, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what it should look like. A grindhouse film should look like. It's grimy, it's dirty, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's awesome. Like,
It's definitely a dirty movie, not
Yeah.
just because of its contents, but it just looks fucking
Yeah.
awful. I don't
Yeah.
care how many
Yeah,
times they
it's-
try to scrub it out with like the Blu-ray iterations. It looks like it was made on a budget of like, I don't know, 45 cents in a bubblegum wrapper.
but it also has like really
it's
good.
low budget
pretty
without
good
being low budget.
Yeah, it has pretty
Yeah.
good cinematography in it too. Just the,
But
like
what-
the look of. Oh,
What's
man.
surprising about it is it's not gory at all.
No, not really. No, you see
Yeah, not
splats
very
of blood.
much.
That's it.
Yeah, a lot of it's implied, especially when that dude gets the I think the meat
Chainsaw.
hook or whatever in the back of his head. He just
Oh,
starts
yeah.
like wiggling.
Yeah, which
Or the
when you
hammer.
see that scene, that's exactly what would happen if you hit somebody with a hammer, because you're knocking basically chunks of skull or going into their brain.
Yeah, it's their brain just like shooting off stuff to the muscles or whatever.
Right.
Signals.
But everyone remembers this as being like gory and bloody and
For that time, probably. I guess, or they. I don't know. People. My parents actually went and saw this when it first came out, and they walked out.
I mean, by today's standards, this is a
Tame.
G-rated movie.
Yeah. Back then, they were like, "Oh my God, Toby Hooper, you should be ashamed of yourself."
It's Steven now, though. He's got the cigar.
Oh, that's right. He said he got the idea from like, what was he like in a crowded store or something? He said, "How can I get these people out of my way?" or something like that. He's like a chainsaw, something like that. I don't know if that was actually something like that.
Well, I know a lot of it's based on like Ed Gein.
Oh yeah, it'd be definitely.
No, yeah.
And that noise when like the scenes were changing, like in the beginning of that. Well, I can't do it, but you know what I mean.
Oh,
the,
it's a,
the camera shutter.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
camera. It's a flash. It's the like a camera flash charging
the
back up.
Graflex thing, yeah.
Yeah, which it was always that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's just so whiny and piercing.
Yeah, like I said, I mean this movie's low budget without being low budget. I mean, because
It's,
you've seen
uh,
horrible low budget movies that are.
Oh Lord, have we ever?
Yeah. Leatherface is just the whole family. It's creepy because it's like they eat people, they're cannibals, and it's like shit. That stuff like that can like has happened before. Like
Yeah, I mean, it happens now. That's another.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's
that's what
probably
makes
happening as we speak,
yeah,
or excuse me, as they listen. Oh God.
Yeah, so I guess that's another thing that makes it.
but they always
scary
consider like
is that-
it can't be some nice dressing man to be a cannibal. It's got to be like these redneck, like
Oh.
just
Yeehaw! Look at
Meth-
motherfuckers.
yeah. They're the ones that are doing the cannibal stuff. Not the nice looking person wearing a tuxedo or a suit or whatever. It's the one wearing like kitty clothes.
Now, do you think like obviously Leatherface? I mean, he's wearing human skin on his face.
Yeah.
But do you think when they show the rest of the family? I mean, we meet the brother at the beginning because he's the hitchhiker.
Yeah.
But when you see him at the end, do you think that the way they're acting, as far as like the being like crazy and goofy, do you think that takes away from the scariness of the film, or?
No, because it's still creepy when they're laughing because you're like, holy shit, these people are insane. Like I don't know what to make of it. It's just them laughing and acting all goofy or something. It's It's just how crazy they are. Like, crazy. I mean, I guess crazy people would do that. I want to say like insane people, like because they're insane.
But I mean, like when they bring their grandpa out, and he's obviously 100 years old, and he's trying to like
Yeah.
Well,
he's dropping the hammer.
he
I
does
mean,
consider it a black comedy. Toby Hooper does.
right.
He considers
Oh,
Texas
Jesus.
Chainsaw a black comedy. Yeah.
I just think that this is what Poltergeist could have been.
Yeah.
If Spielberg didn't have a hand in
If Spielberg wasn't Spielberg.
it. Yeah.
But I just love this movie, man. Like, it has one of the best last shots, and it's when Leatherface is just swinging that chainsaw because he's pissed off. Because he got that. Yeah, that's one of the best like ending shots.
Well, it goes from him being mad to just him being merry. He's just having a good old time.
Yeah. One of the greatest shirts I've seen is like that, him swinging the chainsaw above his head, and it's like in different. It's like in different colors all across the shirt. It says disco at the top.
That's awesome.
Do you have any thoughts about like because there were a lot of sequels and then way more prequels?
Actually, the sequel was also going to be in my top 6 too, but I changed because I love the sequel so much. It's one of the. It's like they did like an Evil Dead thing. The first Evil Dead's, just straight horror.
Movie,
yeah, the second one's goofy. That's Tobe Hooper did like kind of like that the format. This Texas Chainsaw Massacre is more goofy, and it's definitely hell bloodier, or just bloody.
It was. Yeah. They definitely went for the gore in that one.
And Chop Top, I love Chop Top. He's a hilarious character.
Bill Moseley.
Yeah, the third one. The third one had Matthew McConaughey in it.
The third one
had Viggo Mortensen.
No, I believe so. I don't remember. I know that an armadillo gets killed.
I don't remember the third one. I remember the one with Matthew McConaughey.
And that's the number 4. It's called The Next Generation, and 4 people went to go see it. So.
Yeah.
And it has Ken Foree in that one, or is he in the third one?
No, Ken Foree was in part 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I saw the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the first remake. Yeah. I saw the second one. No.
They're trying really hard with the series. I don't understand why they keep trying to like reboot it.
I never saw the 3D one. And I never saw Leatherface, the prequel. But even though I like the directors, even though they directed one of my favorite foreign horror films ever, Inside.
Yeah.
You've never seen it, go watch it.
You said it's called Inside?
Yeah, it's called Inside. They're 2 French directors. It's crazy. They did an American remake to it a couple years ago, I think.
Which is probably horrible.
Yeah, probably. But Inside's, we'll talk about it another time, but yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Never saw Leatherface, and that's it. I mean, all the
like Texas Chainsaw, then just Texas. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Texas. All right. I guess your number 2.
My number 2, and these last 2 I struggled with the order of what to put these 2 in. But my number 2 is An American Wolf in London.
Ooh, did we speak about that?
Yes, yeah. We did an entire episode on American Wolf.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that I was occupado. Oops.
Yeah, but so since you're here now, you can.
What's your thought?
Oh, it sucks. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, that's back when John Landis was like a competent director, so I appreciate it.
Confident director, that's funny. Yeah, he makes shit now.
Well, he did he kind of did the way like of John Hughes did. Like as soon as the '90s ticked over, just some horse shit fell out of his face.
Yeah.
Can't
stand the sun.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a good while. But I remember it being just absolutely stunning when it came to like the special effects.
Yeah, the special effects. I think that's what got me because I like I said in the previous episode. The
best transformation thing.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I was a kid. I still remember details of I was at my grandmother's house and she had HBO and I was up all night watching movies. And I can still remember that there was American Wolf in London, and after that went off, Body Double came on, and I remember watching it, and I actually like that
Nice.
movie too. But the
And that brings us to your number one.
yeah, but Jack's death scene in this movie, seeing as a kid,
It's brutal.
the acting from this guy and the makeup, the
Wh-
it was
You know
like
what sells it?
it's
The
like
scream.
the screaming, and like I said before, he says this. Oh my God, it's killing me. He knows that this thing. You know what I'm saying? It was.
He knows he's gonna die.
Yeah, it gives you chills when you're watching, especially as a kid.
And his last thought was his best friend didn't help him.
Yeah,
The betrayal.
I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf Jack, but that and then the full lit room transformation. That none of it's hidden in the shadows, none of it's darkly lit. Everything's
Right.
fully lit. A transformation.
Man, he's like reading a book. He's like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
But yeah, that and the special effects. It's just
Yeah,
it's
best
diff-
transformation.
yeah,
Jeez.
it's like I said, it's number 2 on my top 6, but it's my number 1 werewolf movie of all time.
Yeah, suck it, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
And what was his name? Whatever
Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the sequel, wasn't
Yes, I think him and his sister were both in the sequel. Justine Bateman.
he? Justine. All right, Eric.
Number two, probably one of my favorite movies to come later in life. I never
Mhm.
saw this when I was a kid. It's a movie that I never really watched because it's it's universally praised. So I just figured, oh, it's just going to be good. And I got a chance to see it at the in its entirety at a flashback showing at the Marquee Cinemas. They had, they do every year. They pick classic movies, and it's Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
That almost made my list also.
And the reason why it is number two, one word, dread. This movie is filled to the brim with it. I had never, like I said, I'd never seen this movie before. Before probably a couple years ago when I saw it in theater, and I had no fucking clue what was going on. Like the tension that this movie builds in its first act, its almost first half, is you could cut it with a knife. It's insane.
Do you not feel scared for this woman when she gets pulled over?
Hmm.
You're like, oh my gosh, she's going to get caught. I'm going to get
Oh
caught.
man,
You know, you
like
feel it.
yeah, I felt my balls draw up. That's how frightened I was. I was just like, "Oh my God, are you serious? Is this happening?" Because what she does, what she pulls off, it could be anybody. She just like snaps one day, does something ridiculous, and now she's stuck with it.
Yeah, and it's that scene of her driving with that music and her yeah that and then just in her head playing back through everything that happened and that music
Mhm.
is just that's like some of the greatest like score right there.
Oh, I thought it was wonderful. I feel stupid for never giving it a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, I
Seen
saw
it.
that later. Yeah, later in life, and I was, what's crazy? I saw the remake first before I saw the
Oh,
original.
Oh, the one with what's his
Vince
name?
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
The shot-for-shot remake.
yeah, and
yeah.
yeah, the first one, man, is yeah, like you feel dread. It's one of the movies you feel dread the whole time, or like, oh, this one was not gonna live. Something really crappy's gonna happen to her.
I mean, you feel it. You feel whenever she's in the parlor with Norman.
Yeah, automatically you already think something's kind of off about him.
Yeah,
You
but you
feel like it's off, but it's just the question that runs through your head is what's next? Because nothing is telegraphed at
I
Yeah.
all.
know. But you're thinking you're going along with her. He's asking too many questions. I got to get out of here.
It's funny that like the shower scene, it was actually Alfred Hitchcock that was doing the knife stuff because I'm pretty sure what was the guy that played Norman? I can't think. I'm like drawing a blank right
Anthony
now.
Perkins.
Oh, Anthony
Yeah,
Perkins.
Anthony Perkins. He was like off that day, or he had to do something that day, and he couldn't do it. So that was Alfred Hitchcock.
It was also the first movie to show a toilet.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that was a big
yeah,
deal. Yeah,
Before
back
then,
in the
you were
day, they didn't believe that people
they
took
had
a
some
shit. So
yeah,
weird rules. Yeah.
and the blood was Hershey syrup.
yeah, that's classic knowledge nowadays.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
yeah
And
this
for some
movie
reason, Hershey syrup just makes the perfect blood in a black and white
in a
picture.
black and white. Yeah, but the of course I'm old, so I seen this movie as a kid.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, definitely one of my favorite Hitchcock films.
Hitchcock was just he was ahead of his time in a lot of ways. He knew. I mean, if you've seen a lot of his other movies, say like Rope. Y'all ever seen Rope?
Yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
probably
That was
seen
like in
every.
one shot. That was like a one. The camera just followed him and never panned away or nothing. It just like you
No,
did.
it is one shot, but back in the day, film reels were only so big. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they had to had.
there's one cut in the movie, but that's out of like necessity.
And I
yeah,
think it goes. I think it's like in between a wall or something.
Hmm.
Well, we'll cover that
yeah, and
later
just
in our all Hitchcock episode.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Psycho. I was gonna put it on my list. I'm ashamed that I didn't, but
I'm ashamed that I didn't watch it earlier.
yeah,
It's
I can't believe it took you that long to see it.
it's one of those things like it's always praised, so I never even thought to actually go out of my way to watch it just because like oh it's good, so it's always going to be good, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Right.
So why even waste the effort on it? But then I had the opportunity to go, and it was the best $8 I've spent. What's your number two? Don't say
It's
Dookie.
got to be Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess when you think about zombie films, either this or Night of the Living Dead. Usually,
Well, I just think of the original Romero trilogy.
yeah. I
Night,
saw
Dawn,
this
Day.
is like with the first horror movie I think I ever saw when I was younger. I was like 4 or 5. I remember watching it with my brother, and like
Mhm.
it, like I said before, it's like scared me so much, and like the zombies eating people, like seeing that's probably the most graphic thing I've ever seen at that time, and it just I was like, like I couldn't stop watching it, but I was scared. Like I had to sleep with the light on. I had
Really
the
that
door
bad?
open. Yeah, it scared, dude. It scared me. I was like 4 or 5. It literally scared me.
That's insane. I've never found this movie scary, just
When did you see
outrageously
it?
entertaining.
Huh?
First of all, calm down over there, officer. This good cop, Bill cop. I don't like it. Um, no, first time I saw it was probably when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, for sure. No, I remember you actually let me borrow the DVD
Oh
way
yeah.
back in the day. Yeah, you got like that special edition with Bub on the. No, that was Day of the Dead. When
Yeah.
did I see this first? Like it
Have
was
you ever
definitely when I was.
seen Dawn of the Dead?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Turns out I've been blind this whole time.
Yeah, it was Day
Oh
of the Dead. I'll let you borrow.
yeah. But it was definitely when I was in high school because
Yeah.
that's when I fell in love with it.
Well, I also saw it as a kid, and I can say that as a kid it didn't scare me, but it definitely disturbed me. And of course, I've talked about this in a previous episode. Um, the death of the biker that gets his guts ripped out.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
sucks to be that guy.
But again, it's the acting. It's the visuals. Obviously, the special effects looked realistic as far as I know of
Mm.
someone getting their guts ripped out. And it was Tasso's acting. You know, the screaming. He just screamed the whole time, and it for some reason as a kid it felt real, and that stuck with me. The rest of the movie, like I said before, is sort of comic book looking,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
bright
that.
colors.
Like the guy when the SWAT team busts in, the guy gets like bit in the shoulder. or whatever.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's scary. Just it's gory. It's entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. In the music, can't beat the music by Goblin at all.
No, I was actually listening to that the other day. Very good soundtrack.
I got the poster of the machete guy getting machete in the face, and it
Oh
says
yeah,
zombie. It's in Italian.
yeah, that's right. The Dawn of the Dead was released in Italy under Zombie, and
Zombie, and
Lucio
then
Fulci's like, I'm gonna get on that gravy train and make Zombie 2.
But yeah, Dawn of the Dead. It's just one of those movies that'll always hold up well. I think it's just a classic. The special effects, Tom Savini
Yeah.
at his best.
Well,
It's
I can't say that because the difference between Dawn and Day when it comes to special effects is almost night and day, pun intended.
yeah.
But he did a
Did
fantastic
that?
job nonetheless.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the movie. It's
it's
fantastic.
definitely yeah it's definitely one of my it's on my list, and it's still it's one of my favorite zombie movies also.
Yeah. Is this your number one, Carrie?
My
Spoilers.
number one pick is Dawn of the Dead.
Oh my gosh. I feel
I
like I should
mean,
have just put that as number 6 just so we can all have it on the list. I was totally doing it. Like I'll send you a picture. I have like number 6, Descent or Dawn question mark. Like I had to make the decision on the cast.
this would have been a gold moment. 666 of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I mean, Dawn of the Dead. It was. Say it again. I saw it as a kid. It's what got me wanting to do like special effects.
Yeah.
Once I started learning, like about Tom Savini and all that. Um, and of course, later in life, I started to appreciate the undertones, the
All the irony
consumerism
and
storyline, and all that. But yeah, as
social
far as
commentary.
yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a fun ride, and that's why it's my number one.
I have nothing to say bad about Dawn of the Dead. There's probably just a couple goofy guys in green makeup, kind of. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Favorite zombie is the fat guy in the swimming trunks, just bouncing off the glass outside.
Hashtag justice for Flyboy.
Just a Flyboy. Oh man, yeah. Flyboy. All right, Eric. What's your number
Uh,
one?
well, I'll tell you, it's gonna be this was kind of tough, but this is a movie that speaks on all facets. It's scary. It sticks with you. It's infinitely entertaining. Has the longevity, but it's like a hallmark in filmmaking. It's a movie that you can pick apart at any level, and that is 1980s The Shining.
Good pick.
Good old Stanley Kubrick, bringing nothing but the best to the table.
Jack Nicholson bringing his A game.
Oh man, the behind the scenes for that movie of him getting like super pumped for his scenes
Yeah.
are fucking as scary as the movie is. It's just
Wasn't he
unsettling.
like saying like murder, kill, axe, or something like that?
Yeah,
Wasn't
he's like axe murder, kill. He's just like getting pumped.
yeah.
But this movie just reeks of just great filmmaking from the bottom up. Great cinematography, great writing, great acting,
Great
directing.
atmospheric movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just dreadful, and some people do say that it's a little lacking because the Jack Torrance character may be a little cuckoo the whole time, but I feel like the descent into madness is a ride that the audience can just jump aboard.
Yeah.
It's so slow and agonizing, but when he finally snaps, the ride is worth it. Like, the journey is worth it.
Yeah, the opening scene of the movie is the I'm assuming a helicopter shot following the road, and big landscape behind you, the mountains, this car far away in the distance going up around the curves. And then to me, it seems like throughout the rest of the movie, I think it's closer and closer and closer to the camera. until your last shot, which is just a close up of Jack Nicholson frozen in the snow. Spoilers if you've never seen it.
It's okay. He's just hanging out with McCready.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely
It's a masterpiece.
it is a masterpiece. It is
I can't get
it
around.
is a
I know that
perfect
word
movie.
is. Yeah, I can't get around. Well, I mean that word gets thrown out a lot, but only okay, like if anybody has any knowledge in like shot composition, you might know what I'm talking about. Carrie, any director that can pull off breaking the 180 rule and still have a coherent scene is a fucking genius.
Correct.
Period.
Yeah.
Like it's so tough to do that.
I like the just Jeff Nicholson's performance, and I also don't understand why Stephen King hates Stanley Kubrick's version.
Oh, I know why. Because the movie leaves no room for exposition. That's why.
Yeah.
You know what? He actually likes the miniseries better than the movie.
I hated
He
the
also
the
directed
made-for-TV.
Maximum Overdrive, so I
Yeah.
have no so fuck, whatever.
His opinion means nothing.
Yeah. Like, who better to do Stephen King than Stephen King himself? And that movie's trash. Like, I'll watch it because it's fun trash, but it's not a good movie. I mean, it's trash. It's like just before Dumpster Fire, you know?
You know what? I actually have a Stanley Kubrick. I had a huge Stanley Kubrick book. An ex-girlfriend got me, and it like has everything for every movie. Like it shows like stuff from his color schemes that he's gonna do for each movie, and I mean it has all kinds of stuff, guys.
Yeah, he was wildly anal about his
Yeah.
filmmaking, but the thing is, he spent so little during production. That's how he could get away with it. He was such a perfectionist, but he was such an absolutionist too. Like he knew what he wanted, but also how to get it, so he didn't waste anybody's time or money.
Yeah, I feel safe saying this is a perfect, not just horror movie, but a perfect movie.
In general, yeah, it's really good.
In order to complain about anything in this movie, you have to dig pretty deep. So, there you have it.
I mean, yeah, the only complaints I've ever heard from anybody about this movie is Shelley Duvall.
Who,
whether-
Olive
whether-
Oil? Leave her
Yeah,
alone.
whether they're complaining about her acting or they're complaining about her looks. Which
I thought she's
No,
fine.
I'm
If
not
it's
blaming
looks,
that.
then
I thought she did a
fucking-
really good job in it. Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick like drove her crazy.
Yeah, yeah. He tortured that young lady, unfortunately. Like, wouldn't let the rest of the cast or production team like talk to her as they're going through like the hardcore breakdown scenes and stuff.
He made her do that scene where she's like with the baseball bat 138 times.
Well, I know, but I mean, to me, that gets something out of her performance that you know what I'm saying? I mean, she has to look tired and worn out.
Haggard, yeah.
Yeah.
So what better way to film someone tired is to really get them tired and just worn
Yeah,
out.
really make them tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell that when she screams and stuff too, because it's all hoarse and just there's nothing left there.
She's probably arguing with Stanley Kubrick the whole time.
So was did you see this as a kid or?
No, I didn't see this until I was a teenager as well.
Oh, okay.
It's like movies with me. I didn't extend out from what we had at the house until I was in high school. I had access to these things.
Oh, your sister has a huge horror collection.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, I was going to ask, like, if Billy, did you see it when you were younger, Billy, or?
I probably saw it when I was like 11 or 12.
So what was the creepiest thing that you saw in the movie?
I thought the scene where the blood comes out of the elevator.
See, everybody goes to that or the twins, like the girls.
No, twins didn't really
Yeah.
creep me out. I was like, look at the. I remember like first thing I was like, who are these annoying twins?
What always stood out to me as seeing it as a kid was the old lady in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For
those are
some
some
reason, that
Corman titties
always,
if I ever saw them.
yeah. For some
Corey
reason,
got
that
his
always got
money's
me.
due.
Of course, that and the whatever the deal is with the guy in the bear
Bartender?
costume.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Giving
that's
the
what I was
other guy
thinking. The
fellatio.
bartender, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Just
You know, it's crazy. They did an exact replica of the elevator and like the hallway leading up to the elevator perfectly.
Are you
Right.
talking about Ready Player One?
No, the elevator
That movie
scene
was
with the
good.
bloke. What is? I never saw Ready Player One.
That's good. Good for you.
Good for you. But that scene they did like a whole remodel. So for long when I was younger, so I was like, how? I was like, did they just really ruin that set piece or something? Like I thought it was an actual set piece. So just like a miniature
Hmm.
model. But yeah, it's crazy that how anal he was about everything.
Oh
Everything had to be
yeah.
perfect.
There's a bunch of great documentaries about his filmmaking techniques and what he did to achieve what each particular movie needed. And it just this guy just had some balls, but he
Yeah.
had the brains to pull it off, and just the brevity to have everybody on board as he filmed the same thing 122 times.
Yeah.
It worked though. I mean, it worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's probably never had a bad movie.
So
Uh, hang
what
in
do you
there.
think the deal is with the ending of the film and the Jack Nicholson being in the picture, and that has the date of 1927 on it?
I don't know if that was just Kubrick trying to fuck with this or not.
See, I had always had this thought of from the beginning of the film, we are seeing Jack Nicholson, his wife and Danny. They're already dead. They're already ghosts, and that's what we're watching.
Oh, I never
And
thought
like
of it
at
that way.
yeah, like at the beginning, because when he gets there, because when he does his interview, I think the guy sitting beside of him is actually the one in the interview, and the way they film it, it looks like he's talking to Jack Nicholson. But I think that guy is the guy that actually got the job, and we're just kind of almost like the others. Like
Hmm.
we're watching the side of we're just watching the ghost the entire time.
That's a good
And
idea.
and that's like the ending of us is like, oh look, he was the original caretaker in 1929 that killed his family. And we're just seeing his ghost the entire movie.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that.
That, or it was just all a confession that he filmed the moon landing.
Shut up.
If you've ever seen
Oh,
that
the room,
documentary,
whatever it is.
Room 237, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, but I think that's what it is. I think he was the ghost. I think they were the ghost the entire time.
Yeah.
That makes me just want to watch it again.
Right.
Like with that mindset, just be like, holy
And
shit,
see
he's
if you
onto
spot
something.
any other.
Oh shit, he's right.
Yeah.
Gary was fucking right.
I also had I had a Mandela effect with this movie because for some reason I always remember Scatman Crothers getting his arm chopped off instead of just getting the axe in the chest. And
Oh
I don't
really?
know why I have this vivid memory of him getting his arm cut off.
Maybe you saw like a different version, and then like it just like that one version had a different kill.
I
Quick,
guess I
how do you
don't
spell Bearstein Bears?
Yeah.
know. It's Berenstain.
Oh no, I thought it
Yeah.
was Weinstein Bears. Oh, old joke.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that. Like, I don't know where I got that from. His arm getting cut off. But
Mm.
I also heard they're making a sequel. It's all about
Yeah, it's Doctor
Danny.
Sleep. It's based off a Stephen King book.
Yeah,
The
it's
guy
about.
who did The Haunting of Hill House, Netflix, and Hush, he's doing it.
Okay.
How do you follow that up? Like, there's just no way.
I
You're
guess
always
it's
gonna.
about Danny Torrance, like as an adult now,
Yeah, it is.
being played by Obi-Wan
Ewan
Kenobi.
McGregor.
Well, so much for being a ghost story.
Yeah.
Way to go, guy! You ruined Carrie's headcanon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I guess my number one.
Dun, 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 dun.
It is What's Eating Glory Grape. No, it's Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2.
I am. I predicted that.
That's right. This is always and forever will be my favorite horror movie.
See, I
Um,
actually put Evil Dead 2 on my list of movies just overall, and I didn't even get to rank it. Like, I thought it was too much comedy,
it is.
too
It's
campy.
comedy horror, or whatever you want to call it, horror comedy, whatever.
We'll
But
just
I
call it
just,
Bruce Campbell.
yeah, Bruce Campbell. I saw this. probably, I don't know, I was like 7 or 8 maybe. Again, my brother or my sister rented it and watched it with them, and I just movie didn't scare me really. Like the part where his girlfriend like gets her head and she's dancing, that creeped me out. I remember,
That's still kind of weird, yeah. The whole stop
yeah.
motion thing.
And Henrietta when she first appears, that like creeped me out and scared me. But everything else I thought was, I mean, some parts made me laugh, but it was just I just couldn't stop watching. It's one of those movies that like had my eyes glued to it the whole time.
Yeah.
It was just one of them entertaining horror movies. Like it wasn't a dull. There was never a dull moment or something to do fillers like. And then Bruce Campbell just gave one of the best like performances ever.
He's the best reverse actor ever.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff he had for like first part of that movie, he was just him, pretty much.
Him and a deer head and
Yeah.
a lamp.
Like yeah, like his kind of like descent into madness where he's laughing and then starts crying, like screaming. I mean, that's Bruce Campbell's best role.
And he hasn't done anything since, unfortunately.
No, we haven't even. I mean, I don't know. Is he still alive? Can someone check on him?
You guys better watch what you say.
Now, Evil
But
Dead 2, definitely. I definitely enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite horror
You got a
movies.
favorite
Also,
scene?
Well, before we do that, I just want to say Evil Dead 2 is the best remake of Evil Dead of all time.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. And the remake to that, the newer remake wasn't bad, but Evil Dead 2's.
I feel like if it were released under its working title and not Evil Dead, it probably
What was the
would.
working title?
I
Oh, Book of the
forgot
Dead.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they just went ahead and just like went to its roots. Because Evil Dead will just always be Evil Dead, but now there's two Evil Deads, and there
Yeah.
you go. That's how you sell DVDs. Folks.
No, wait. One's called no. You know it's weird. One of them's called The Evil Dead, and the other one's called Evil Dead.
Ah,
Yeah, they hit you with the.
Corman.
Yeah, cool, man. But yeah. What's y'all's favorite scene for Evil Dead 2?
Work shed.
Work shit.
Work Shed is a good one.
It's back. It's back, guys.
Favorite scene, I would have to go with either when Danny Hicks gets pulled down to into the cellar and like
Oh, the
the
blood
gallons
comes
of
everywhere.
blood comes gushing out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like a really good one.
that's a good one.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. Like when he finally cuts his hand off, he goes from just like regular Ash into just Mad Ash. When he looks
Yeah.
into the camera, that's pretty insane.
I like when he does it. Who's laughing? He's like, that's right. Who's laughing now? Oh man, it's like, could you do that if your hand was possessed? Could you cut your own hand off?
It's so wild because that movie turns into like a wacky kids show when everybody's laughing at him. He's like doing that little
Yeah.
dance or
Yeah,
whatever.
the lamp,
laughing along.
the
Yeah.
little lamps laughing, and the deer head. But I gotta say, whenever Bobby Joe and the rest of the crew show up, the guy from QVC and whatnot,
He's from West Virginia.
yeah, whenever they're in that one room and they keep hearing like when her father's trying to come through from another world.
Oh, that creeped me out too.
Yeah, and the camera's like moving with like the sound effect with like wood twisting.
You hear
And, like-
horses and stuff.
Yeah, for some reason, like when I seen that was actually scary as a kid. So I would say that was, the movie does have scares in it.
It's definitely it does have some spookiness in there for sure.
Yeah, the shot like where the I don't know, the evil dead is following everybody, like when he's trying to get out of there and it's just following him. Like that, those shots are just amazing. They used a zip line, didn't they? One of the zip line? Or what did they use for the thing following everybody?
I think they just put like I think the camera's just on
A dolly
like a
or
long
something.
pole or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was on a pole for the first one, but I think they actually invented.
Zip
Yeah,
line.
because they smash it through like the windshield and the back window of the car.
Yeah, I think at
Yeah, I
that point
mean,
they had definitely invented what they called not snorri cams, but steady cams.
Yeah.
to me, Evil Dead 2 is like one of the perfect horror movies or horror cons or however you want to classify it. It's just perfect 10 to me. I've watched it and it's my favorite movie. Since I was like what 7 or 8. It'll never not be Evil Dead 2.
I'm gonna say a lot of our picks are definitely nostalgia related.
Well, yeah, because the best
Bro,
horror movies are the ones that get under your skin.
yeah,
They stick with you the longest, whether they be funny, kooky, or genuinely creepy or unsettling.
just love it.
Yeah, so that was our top 666. Definitely a
Do we have?
fun episode to do. So we'll definitely have to do more of these
Yeah,
type of
definitely.
shows.
I was gonna say, do you guys have any runner-ups or anything that the hard cuts you had to make? Like maybe one or two. What do you got, Carrie?
Alien.
Yeah.
I wish I could have worked Alien into my list.
Near Dark for me. What about you,
I
Eric?
well, I was gonna have Dawn of the Dead as 6. I should have put it on there, but I panicked at the last second. But I wrote a whole bunch of them. I had Dawn of the Dead. I had Evil Dead 2. I had 28 Days Later. I also had Alien and I Saw the Devil.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I realize now that I probably could do a top 10.
Yeah, I have
Um,
10 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
but
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
I would definitely have to reorder some on my list that I have now.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting putting the Descent on there. I did that just to try to be different. Because I knew Dawn was going to pop up on somebody else's list.
It was, yeah, both of us. And Carrie.
God damn it. Then
And
again,
no,
if I did that, I wouldn't have had any movie from this century.
Yeah.
well,
But
we did have a listener comment on our Facebook post with his top 6. George Bramble, which is one of my friends. So I'll read
Shout
off
out to
his
this guy.
list. Yeah, I'll read off his list real quick. So he picked The Howling.
Oh, Jack Nicholson, was it?
No, that was Wolf.
Oh yeah, that was the bad one. Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind.
Um, he picked Pumpkinhead.
it was good movie.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street.
There we go. We're on the same page.
The Unnameable.
Oh, now we got to close the book.
Reanimator.
Alright.
Oh, Reanimator's fun.
And his last pick here is one that I wish I would have put on my list, but for some reason I didn't and could make it fit in there. The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, I'm surprised that was on like at least one of y'all's.
Yeah, I went with Poltergeist instead. Same kind of. Well, no, it's not like the same thing.
I don't remember where it originally fell on my list, but I want to say it was probably originally would have been 4, so it originally would have replaced on Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, we had some really good picks. Like I said, I think a lot of them are nostalgia related, but some of them were just because
But
they're really well made movies.
yeah, I'm glad we didn't like have a lot that we had like we all had on our list. We only had like what Dawn of the Dead that was the only repeating one.
Halloween, Dawn of
Oh,
the Dead, and
Halloween. Yeah,
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah. Not bad at all, fellas.
Yep. And again, if you haven't seen, of course I know you guys haven't, but if anybody out there hasn't seen The Changeling with George C. Scott, go see it. Go find it and watch it.
I was gonna say,
Watch it alone with the lights off. It's really good.
Also watch George C. Scott in Angus.
shut up. No, it's not on. It's on Amazon, but it's like for rent for like $15.
All right.
I was gonna say we could be like, oh, that's a cool segue into next week's thing.
We don't have a cool
15 bucks.
segue yet.
Yeah, I think overall this was everybody had a really good solid list.
Yes, that was a very good episode. So,
I have regrets about mine, but you know.
well, everybody has regrets about everything.
That's right.
That's the worst thing everybody's any said to me, so.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'll have some pictures of the pins and stuff that was sent. I'll have that on the website. Um, you can find the website at 1313inc.wordpress.com, and I'll go ahead and put our list on there. I'll get everybody's list together and list those with some links.
And I might make
Sounds
like a
good.
little fun little graphic to show all of our like list.
Oh, yeah, that'll work too. So we'll put that on there, and then
Don't be surprised if I try to amend mine. I'll just put Six's Descent and Dawn of the Dead.
okay.
Just sneak it in there.
Yeah, and if you're listening and you're enjoying the show,
Please
patreon.com
continue to do so.
/ a podcast from beneath, chip in a few bucks, or just like our show
Like our
on
stuff.
Podbean. We're on Stitcher now, so you can go there and like and subscribe. Pocket Cast and Google Play. So, and of course get the episodes available on YouTube. Yeah, just whatever you listen to us on, just make sure you're subscribing and liking and commenting and all that good stuff.
Thank you again to the Poe and Grimm podcast.
Yeah, shout out to those guys for like the cool little little bits and bobs and stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool of them to do that.
And
Appreciate it.
just because of that, I'm gonna check those guys out, as should our listeners as well.
Yeah, like I said, you can find them on Podbean also. And I guess we'll wrap this show up and work on what we're gonna do next week.
We'll be
Yeah, and if you
back.
guys have any, I was gonna say if you guys have any ideas of what we should do a top six of, leave them in the comments somewhere. We'll address them accordingly. If we don't have any other ideas similar.
Oh yeah, definitely check out our Discord channel too. You can get the link to that on the website as well. You sign up for
Yep,
that,
that's
and you can chat with us on there. You can ask questions. We'll ask questions on there. We'll get it going to where it's more of a interactive show.
yeah, it's a direct communication to us guys. Especially if you're listening live, you can talk to us directly, and we'll have a nice little conversation between you guys.
Like I said, you get the links to everything on 1313inc.wordpress.com. And thanks for listening.